ran to my bathroom, threw up, toughed it out in my first two classes. In my first class, my mouth was literally like watering. I thought I was gonna have to like run out of the room. And then I left the school, and that's when I had to hit the Tebow in front of the front lawn and started throwing up, bro.
In the
It
front
was so
lawn?
bad. Yeah, dude, it was horrible. There was like
Oh
people walking by,
no.
like, "Are you okay?" Like, because it was like an aggressive ass throw up. It was like
Oh,
straight water too. It was bad,
what'd you eat?
dude. I don't know. I
It's like
had like
raw
ground
food.
chicken. I think I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's a stomach bug or food poisoning, but I had ground chicken, rice, and lettuce last night, like a bowl, and I just fucking So I hit a little QT stop before I got on here and got a
Oh,
little slurp
nice.
juice to get some electrolytes and fluid back in me.
I need to live near a Quick Trip.
Yep.
I love that
Yeah,
place.
this one's like 5 minutes from my place. Pretty scary
Oh,
at night, but it's worth it. Anything for the QT.
a little cold brew on tap.
Oh,
I think if I drank
CBOT.
a cold brew right now, I think I would pass
That
away.
might flush all the bad stuff out, though.
Yeah, I don't think there's any more bad stuff in my body. Certainly cannot. I don't know about science, but there's
Oh,
What do we
let's
uh what do we lead the show with?
we gotta lead with Texas A&M USC. The fucking saddest fold. Like, oh my
Mm,
gosh. That
insane fold.
that was awful. That was so awful.
Would have
My
been a
God.
comical fold by Texas A&M as well.
Yeah, yeah. But like, dude, they could have like it's fine. Like
Yeah.
they're still making they everything they want still in front of them. Like
Yeah, man.
this was it. This was it this was it for USC. Like, gosh. Couldn't get it done. Could not get it done.
Sorry, I just
yeah,
get
they
some
were
water.
Wait, Sam, what was that? What was the first game you wanted to preview before the pit game? Mizzou,
Hmm?
Oklahoma?
No,
Oregon.
Oh, USC,
yeah,
Oregon. Yeah,
Oregon
yeah. So,
USC.
okay, sweet, sweet, sweet.
There's literally two games, good games this weekend, and those are the only two.
Navy, Memphis. You're forgetting about that.
Dude, Memphis is folding. They lost last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they
They
still.
lost
their loss was horrible. They were leading
like
like the entire game, and they
they're
lost by 7 or something.
they're like basically out now.
Yeah, it's a three-horse race between Navy, Tulane, and
Dude, Navy was awesome too. Like,
I mean, kinda. Our offense is awesome.
yeah, that's
Our
what I meant.
our
Dude,
defense is a fucking pitiful.
did y'all see that play I was talking about when I said Byron Brown probably threw the worst interception I've ever
Yeah,
seen?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Dog, he like just dropped back. There was like nobody in the
And he
area
literally
except
just
Navy
10
guys.
yards away, and he literally just shoved it to him. Like, dude,
Whenever that happened, I was like, oh, they lost the game.
the
You
thing
can't
about
go 3-and-out versus Navy.
No, you can't. The thing about like USF is they're honestly a better matchup um than like North Texas or Memphis because Byron Brown's sneaky, like he's not a good thrower of the football. Like
No.
we can be had through the air, and like we were had through the air. Like we were terrible. But um dude, Byron Brown, yeah, he missed. He could have we could have got lit up for 60 in this game. And the picks were bad. Like, wow.
Save it. Save it for
Yeah, yeah.
Their first half was
save it for the
like
recap.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
terroristic.
whoa, what the heck? Sticky keys. I don't want that. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So do you guys want to get in? Let's get into this. Sam, we know you got work in like real life and shit like that, so we don't want to take up too much of your time. All right, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 17th edition of the Forward Pass Podcast. Today, I'm here joined by our usual Caleb Archer, Luke Duska, Sam Perry. We have a great show planned for you guys today. Just kind of listen out what we're doing in the beginning of the show. We've got A&M's miracle comeback against alma mater of Sam Perry, South Carolina. We've got USC beating Iowa, Alabama falling to Brent Venables and the Oklahoma Sooners. The rain in Pittsburgh, so the Pitt Notre Dame game wasn't able to be played, sadly. So we'll just hit kind of the weather stuff and the atmospheric science that went into that. Georgia sends the Longhorns home, rattled, and Texas and Sark may have a Kirby problem. Yeah, there's what's the quote, Arch? It is only that. Wait,
My
you
only
say
regret in life is that I only have 2 hands to put horns down for.
for my country. The Nate Hale quote. Uh, great quote from Archer this weekend in the group chat. And then we've quickly we're gonna do some Navy stuff. Navy beat the USF Bulls this week in a huge upset win to kind of be in the hunt for the AAC championship game. And then quickly we have Arizona upsetting Cincy and Michigan escaping Northwestern at Wrigley Field. So guys, let's start with A&M beating South Carolina 31-30 in a second half where South Carolina could not eclipse 80 yards in total. Sam?
Let you take this one.
Oh, I'm gonna take this one. Oh, wonderful. Um, Overall, just I can't believe what I watched and watching the highlights. Like, I cannot believe how bad South Carolina's offensive line played in the second half. When in crucial drives at the end of the game, like Lenoris doesn't have a chance. There is nothing he can do. Edges just right past, like dude, right past their tackles. I mean, Duska on the I don't know if you saw this, but on the doc, I put Duska, watch how comically bad this pass pro is. From the back and the tackle going to the same guy, sliding and then sliding 5 for 2. Like, what are we doing? They literally had 5 guys for 2, and then nobody picked up the easy pressure that was coming in the back nor the tackle. So yeah, if you want to watch that clip real quickly, but like that is just in that encapsulates what is happening with 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 South Carolina. Are you watching it right now?
Yeah.
Like, do you see what I'm talking about? Like, just sad execution from South Carolina. So, Nick Harbor was a huge win for South Carolina. I mean, he looked awesome. So that's good for you guys going forward if you retain him on the roster. Same as Lenore Sellers. He's obviously a really good player, but I wonder if he comes back to South Carolina. I liked 46, Sam, your edge for South Carolina. He's got a lot of juice. So liked watching him play. He was a good player, but yeah, just really bad from the Cox. And dude, I mean, kudos to Texas A&M not giving up, and Marcel Reed, like, he balled in the second half, and Concepcion and Mario Craver, especially Concepcion. I mean, he was fabulous all day. So I think he had a buck 58 in this game and just kind of took it over. And dude, you can't score 0 points in the second half. Like, you just can't.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah. You got
the first thing I have like is just it was so sad. Like your offense finally shows a little bit of life under this new offensive coordinator, Mike Fury, who I thought did a really good job of just kind of letting Lenoris just rip it and play like carefree in the first half, which we tried to run a pro style offense all first 10 games or however many it was. Didn't work. So it was fun to finally see like a competent offense. And A&M did everything in their power to hand us the game with just two horrendous interceptions by Marcel Reed,
Hmm.
a 30-yard missed kick. I think it was like 30 yards, and then another missed kick. So it wasn't like it was a perfect storm for South Carolina. Like their offense finally clicking. A&M like here, please destroy us. And like you said, Nick Harbor was great. Sad to see him get injured. Hope he's okay
Mhm.
going forward. And I like, but just like, really, this just encapsulates this entire season of just one small step forward and a lot more steps back. And that kind of is been the theme of the Shane Beamer era so far at South Carolina. For those who aren't aware, he was hired my freshman year, so 5 years ago. In year one, he overachieved, going 6-6, then used that momentum to go 8-4 with two awesome wins against A and three awesome wins, great win against A&M, and then the two massive ones, Tennessee and Clemson, to end the season. And then you thought that finally they had continuity at quarterback with Rattler and an improved receiver room with Leggett and Juice Wells to then go 5-7 with a horrible O line. Then next year they overachieve again, going 9-3, top 10 to start the season this year, and then they regress where 5-7 might not even happen with an even worse O line. So, I mean, him hitting the "Are you not entertained" pose at halftime, like he was in fucking Gladiator, was just insane and
And
frustrating.
then you lose.
Yes, and then you lose, and then so like I don't credit to A&M, congrats on the win, awesome, like insane second half by them. But like looking more now at South Carolina, like takeaways for that, like this season's obviously a lost cause. You're now not bowl eligible. You 4-7 or 3-7 going into um, Coastal and Clemson. So I think now the number one focus for South Carolina going into the offseason is to retain your key pieces like Lenore Sellers, who by all accounts and all sources will be returning to college one way or the other.
If you had to
And
put
then
odds on Sellers going back to SC, what would you put it at?
plus 200.
Yeah, definitely not a favorite.
And then
We'll see what
Dylan
money.
Stewart, Dylan Stewart is gone. Like so gone.
I mean, he's not
He'll be
even.
at Ohio.
I don't even
He's not
notice
draft
him.
eligible, right?
No, he's not draft eligible.
I don't notice
had a
him as
great
much as I
play
do
on that
46 though.
Yeah, well, because Dylan Stewart only tries when he can just take the quarterback's head off. And
Was it
then
Stewart that forced the bad throw that was the backwards pass that ended up being the
yeah, he got off watch his get off the line there. It's like insane. It was
Yeah.
like the clowny play. But so from what I'm seeing with what Beamer said in his press conference, it was today or yesterday, that he wants to have an OC hire made as quickly as possible post Clemson game. And I think part of that reasoning would be to retain Lenoris. So I think the way that you retain Lenoris is have a good OC hire, a quick OC hire, kind of make him some promises like, hey, we're going to go get you an O-line, we're going to go get you some receivers, and just kind of hope and pray. But also on the A&M side, they have a massive kicking problem, like a huge kicking problem. And this has been a reoccurring theme throughout the season. And this could be really detrimental coming down the stretch here. Not that it's going to matter that much against Texas because they basically can't not make the SEC championship, I believe. But like in a playoff game, this is a huge issue that they need to figure out. And I wasn't fully familiar, but I guess they were saying on the broadcast that they have the worst kicker amongst the top however many teams. So
Great point,
But just-
because we saw in the Alabama game a field goal. That's what did it.
Yeah.
A missed 31-yarder. That's what did it.
I can't wait to talk about that kicker.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
this guy. I have a clip. I've got something to say for that guy too.
But I mean, there's not that much more to give. I mean, just sad, really sad season, really poor coaching effort. And I think that this is going to be a one and done for him. Like next year here's your last chance. If it's bad, you're gone.
Damn it, Duska. I didn't get it to the right clip. It just shows the beginning of the highlights. Or did you find the clip or no?
Dude, I just froze. What'd you say?
Did you find the clip of like the pass pro?
Yeah. Well, it looked like, I mean, it was like quick and like cut up fast, but it looked like there was like a sim pressure to the left, and then it looked like the back was like scanning and then releasing, or he wasn't part of the protection at all. So
Yeah.
I think that Thompson was setting like to the furthest piece out, and then the back it looked like they just got confused. And
Yeah,
like the sim
yeah.
pressure just messed.
100%.
Like that's like
But they can't block man on either way. So like
no, 100%.
Dude,
The play
sim
before that
They can't
on
block
the highlight tape was like,
regardless of
literally
what's
just
coming.
a clean sack. So.
That's what I'm saying. So they can't block man on, and then if you simulate pressure, like they just cannot pick it up or slide to the right guy. Like whether that's the center's fault for like misiding like the play, but
Yeah.
like whoever's it is, like it's still like like unbelievable how bad they play.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one more thing. Did you guys see the fourth down play at the end of the game?
Yeah.
I texted
Yeah.
in the group
When-
chat. That was the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
When Lenoris just he just went out of bounds, like
It was the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Dude,
he's
we
trying to
can't-
take it
He went-
himself.
We can't see the wide copy though. Like, I don't know what receiver was out there for him. Like
There
maybe
had to
there
be
wasn't.
Anything is
like-
better than that. Anything is better
You're
than
right,
doing that.
you're right.
I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Like, first off, you can't take the sack on 2nd and 1. Like, just disgust, like just so horribly managed. And I think Beamer is lucky that this is a big coaching cycle because I think he would have been fired if there weren't so many other huge jobs open.
Would you fire Beamer personally?
In this year, like with everything
Yeah.
considered,
Mhm.
no. Because I think they're worried about a mass decommit.
Exodus. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Because I think they probably internally think that they can retain Sellers
Could you?
and some of these good
do you-
O-line recruits.
What about like Bob Chesney to USC? Would
I
you
know
like that?
that would be awesome, but it's not gonna happen. They're not gonna fire him.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Would you rather have Bob Chesney as your head coach, or would you rather have Shane Beamer?
I mean, I guess like Beamer. I think for next year because you're not Lenore's isn't gonna. Your best chance to win next year is with Lenore's, I
Yeah,
would think.
yeah,
And I mean, you're still going to be an attractive transfer portal spot
yeah.
regardless of what happened this year.
His brother's on the team as well. He played really well. I like
Dude,
him.
he's good.
Yeah, he's damn good. Real good.
Yeah, I remember like laughing when he
Remember we were
committed.
making
I'm
fun
like,
of him, not
yeah,
making fun of him, but at the basketball game, they're like they
Jaden Sellers, he was like
yeah
5'9".
yeah, and they
Mhm.
introduced like the football team at the basketball game. We're like, oh, here we go, like charity bid.
No,
No,
he's a
not a
baller.
charity
He's a
bid.
baller. I like him a
Hooper,
lot.
complete hooper.
There's
Dude,
also a
he
chance if Lenore leaves, there's a chance he goes right with him as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know if he's playing at like
The
Bama.
top tier school Lenore sends
Yeah,
up
yeah,
at, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I don't know if he's cracking that rotation.
probably not.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, you guys want to move on?
Yes,
I
please.
have one thing to say.
Love it. Let's hear it.
I feel like South Carolina, like I don't know, I just had this like ominous feeling whenever they were up 30-3 that it just wasn't enough points for how bad A&M played. You just kind of had that feeling. Marcel Reed probably played the worst half of football I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
Like that throw that obviously is on the dock of that corner route in the end zone with like a minute and a half left was genuinely one of the funniest throws I've ever seen. And then he followed it up with an even worse one, like literally the drive after. Like I don't know. You just had this like feeling, I guess, that like South Carolina didn't. If they were going to play at the high level, obviously they would have won. But if they went back to normal South Carolina, I just felt like 28 wasn't enough, and A&M played well in the second half, but like that's a tough loss for South Carolina that you're gonna not wonder what if because it's not like anything was gonna like come of this season, but it's just like
Could have been
kind of
something to hang your hat on.
yeah, it could have been something like it got tough this season. You had that win. Like you have that to hang your hat on for momentum. I think the only concern is if you keep Beamer, even though like he's kind of on the like not on the hot seat, I would say, but he's like close to it. You're just doing the same thing like Florida did with Napier, and they like had like a few, and they're like, oh, we're gonna keep him, and then after 2 weeks, you're realizing you made the wrong mistake. I think if they're gonna cut bait with him, they should cut bait with him now rather than wait until like midway through next season because that's when you could really get hit with like a portal exodus and like the team just quitting. But I'm not sure what South Carolina is going to do. I think Beamer is a good coach, but like he just has, I feel like he has one too many moments like this every year.
He doesn't hire staff well enough, and that's been a flaw of his.
I was thinking the same thing, Sam. I think their staff is like they get out coached in a lot of games. And I think Elko, like the Elko defense masterclass that was put on in the second half, like there was no life from South Carolina's offense. But again, oh man, when you gain almost 400 yards in the first half and then you don't gain 80 in the
Reed
second,
12 to 76 was the split.
huh?
312 in the first half and then
Yeah.
76.
Oh, what a shame. And their run game is also not good. There's that one um oh Sam, I like what you put next to my comment about the run number one made.
Dude, it was so funny. We can move on after this because we don't need to keep wasting air. But we're watching, and I'm like a big Matthew Fuller guy. I think he runs hard. He's good. And we paid all this money for Faison. And that handoff, he gets hit behind the line. I'm like, why the fuck is he in the game? Like, he's so bad. And then he just drags those guys for like
Dude, yeah,
25 yards. Everyone's
that was a great
laughing.
run. But even that run, like there's penetration immediately, like from the Texas A&M front. So yeah, South Carolina's got some problems. And I drank the Kool-Aid because I had them in my preseason playoff, but we don't have to talk about that. Let's move on. We're moving on to USC beating Iowa. And when we talked about the preview last week, I said I expected Iowa and their well-coached defense to do whatever they can to take away Makai Lemon, and they did not. He went for 10. He had 10 catches for like 150 yards and a touchdown. But I think this said so much about USC, and because they go down 21-7, and they're at home, and the away team starts fast, and it's raining, which is not your classic USC spot. And so I was just so impressed with how they responded, the physicality they showed as a program. And there's one like macro, there's one thing that Duska talked about early in the year. He talked about Georgia Tech and Brent Key and how Brent Key like wanted toughness to be a part of the program. And he talked about how like toughness is a mindset that's established over like hundreds of reps and it's a day by day thing. And in Lincoln Riley's press conference in December or January, he said to the public and to the USC faithful, like, we are changing our identity as a program. Like, we want to be a physical football team. We want to be able to win games in multiple different ways. We don't just want to be flashy. Like, this is something this is like a mantra I want to take on. And early in the year against Illinois, they got absolutely punched in the mouth. But to see what they've done against Michigan and to see what they've done against Iowa and how they're able to run the ball effectively, and they still have the Cali kids making in the West Coast receivers making plays. They have unreal quarterback play. Shout out to Lincoln Riley, whose fastball is developing quarterbacks. Like I really like watching Mayava play, and um, I just want to point out that Lincoln Riley is 42 years old, which is really young. And Nick Saban won his first championship at LSU at 52 years old. That's another 10 years. And Lincoln Riley's going to keep evolving. And he has not hit his full potential as a football coach. So I do think like that program is taking strides in the right direction to be a physical football team and to be a national championship contender level program. And this is the type of win where you go down 14 points early and you battle and you scratch and you claw and you play good enough football to win this game. And yeah, I was just really impressed with USC as a program, and I'm buying into what they have going on. And obviously, they have a really tough game this week against Oregon, and we'll see how that kind of plays out. But I do think this season in general has been a win so far, and you can see that Lincoln Riley's pushing this program into the right direction, and their defense looks a lot well improved, like much improved. And what do you guys say about what I just rambled a lot, but
I think to your point, you notice the physicality, you notice the shift from this year and the earlier Lincoln Riley teams and last year's team. You notice the shift in games like this when they're playing the perennial Big Ten contenders that are big, super physical, and they can hold their own on the line of scrimmage. And in games like the Michigan game, they kind of dominated the line of scrimmage against Michigan there. They outrushed them, and they did a really good job stopping Michigan from doing what Michigan tries to do to every team and is just be super physical and impose their will in the run game. And they did that better than them. And then you see the passing attack that they're able to roll out there every week. And that's always going to be a reliable part of their offense. So you can the physicality translating into the more West Coast, like flashy receiver type play style, like that combination is the potential of USC to be not just a Big Ten, like a top of the Big Ten contender, like that's what propels them to being back to the state of prominence they had like in the early 2000s when we were younger. And I think the potential, like you were saying with Lincoln Riley being this young, he's going to be able to forge that identity, and they get to play in a league like the Big Ten where he can recruit guys who are NFL profile builds and plug them into being able to play in a league where they're going to play against NFL O linemen. So I think you're just going to be able to see him craft like that, the combination of the two, the Big Ten physicality with like that West Coast Pac-12 type of play. And that's going to be like, think about Lincoln Riley and if he's able to continue an upward trajectory for just another 8 years, like when he reaches Lane Kiffin's age, like how dangerous USC could be as a program at that point with the track record he has of developing quarterbacks and everything. So I think it's really exciting that you're finally seeing the results in Big Ten play where they're able to win games against teams like Iowa. And I don't think it's translated to playing on the road as well, but when they're playing in California, it's a distinct advantage, and they're able to exploit teams' deficiencies through what they do really well with their quarterback play and awesome receivers, and then hold up in the trenches, which is a big shift from what we've seen out of Lincoln Riley's teams
and Lincoln
previously.
Riley, he might be the best play caller in America.
Yeah, then
Like
that's I
all
mean
levels of football.
that's
And
everything. Yeah,
like when you have Kalen DeBoer or you have Lincoln Riley or you have Lane Kiffin, like you're gonna have a chance. No matter even when their defense didn't play well, the first Caleb Williams year, and they make the Rose Bowl, like, you know, just outscoring team. So it's awesome that they're phasing in like this new this new era or in level of toughness. I'm a big USC guy. I'm kind of hopping on.
And I also think Iowa is a really good team. They've kind of had some bad breaks. They obviously have deficiencies in the passing game. That's clear to see in any game they play, but they know what they are and they know the formula that they need to follow to win games. They've just had tougher breaks in some of these big games. Like the turnover in this game is kind of the one of the only reasons that they lost.
Yep.
So because the USC capitalizes with points and take a lead, and they weren't able to do the same. So they're in these games. There's just obviously a limitation to the ceiling of their offense
Yeah.
and then being able to execute down the stretch and be able to pull these off.
I've really liked their offense since like the Wisconsin game where they put up 37, like they beat Wisconsin 37-0. I think the offense has kind of taken a little bit of I think they're finding like they use Weegen on like those jet sweeps and getting the ball on the perimeter. Obviously they get the downhill run game. Gronowski can kind of make plays with his legs, both scrambling and throwing the ball, and then also with it actually in design quarterback run. So yeah, Iowa's a tough out and they're a really good football team. So I don't think this should be held lightly. Like this is a really impressive win, especially going down 14 in your own building early in the game. That is demoralizing. And as a road team, like you're coached to start fast. Like if you're a road team, you want to start fast. And when you do start fast, it feels like there's a lot of momentum heading in your direction. So really good job to USC to curb that momentum and just dude, that's a gritty football because they ended up winning the game 26-21. So they didn't give up any more points once they went down 14. And that's awesome. You guys got anything, Sam or Caleb?
Not a whole lot. I mean, I didn't get to catch much of this game live, but it just seemed like not seemed it. Blitnick or Lemon making his case for Blitnikoff, which is cool. Just seeing superstars make huge plays in these close games to keep their season alive. Kind of like how we were talking about a Heisman moment, like that could maybe be Lemon's Blitnikoff moment. I don't know. But yeah, like you guys have talked about, it's just been cool seeing USC continually scale and improve their physicality each week. And it should set up for a pretty interesting and fun game this week against Oregon. See how their physicality is able to match with Oregon, but College Gameday going back there, which is insane, but yeah.
Yeah. I thought Iowa played a lot better than I thought they would. Like I mentioned that I thought they were going to be pretty sluggish and start slow after like the big physical loss to Oregon. But I mean, they started out hot 21-7. Their offense looks weirdly good in some spots, which is like different than anything you've ever seen from Iowa. Gronowski seems like he's just getting better. And like Chuck said, Iowa's learning how to use him better and like how to work their offense through him, but also through the other playmakers they have. But I thought it was a good win for USC. Usually like the old USC teams, like y'all said, they would kind of tap out in moments like this when you go down and you're playing a really physical Big Ten West style team, like the old Big Ten West, and they just kept fighting and then they pull out a sneaky victory. So some days it's not about how much you win by, it's just winning, and they did that. So thought that was a good win for Lincoln Riley.
Great point, Arch. We're going to move on to the Alabama-Oklahoma game, which I think was just a well-played football game in terms of just two teams like going at it. Now, there were mistakes made all over the field, but just in the effort level and the intensity of this football game was awesome. So there's a couple things I just wanted to point out on the Alabama front, and I think the reason so Oklahoma beats Alabama 23-21. Alabama does miss a chip shot field goal in I believe the third quarter, or early in the fourth that really would have been the difference in this football game. But that was not the only detail oriented miss that Alabama had. I thought the pick that Ty Simpson threw, the pick six. There's a gap pressure right in his face. Whether it was the center's fault or whether it was his fault or whether it was a guard's fault, that's a detail that has to be picked up. And it was right after that that fumble that happened, and it's a gift that Oklahoma doesn't get on that fumble. And then the very next play, you throw a pick six because like you don't block up the blitz well enough, and Ty Simpson makes a bad decision with pressure like right in his face, right at the snap of the football. So I thought their offensive line, Alabama, they two sacks early in the game for Oklahoma. Twice the backs did poor in protection for for Alabama, and I highlighted one of them in the document that Bama's running backs just didn't do a very good job in pass protection. And I think those little details, when you want to win a championship as a football team, whether it's missed kicks, missed protection, Ryan Williams, ball security on the punt return, those little things, like they're going to get you beat by a good football team, especially the way Oklahoma's playing right now. And it's way less Mateer hero ball than it was early in the year. And you could see Mateer getting more comfortable with his hand, and the ball spinning a little bit better, and him not jumping to throw the ball, and like just being a little more calm in the pocket. And yeah, that's really what I kind of thought about this game. I thought coaching wise, I thought DeBoer, yeah, I thought DeBoer did a really good job scheming him and Grubbs. Like the one touchdown to the freshman tight end, like that was such a laugher when they're all just like standing up, like nothing's happening, and then they snap the ball, like tight end releases on like a leaker route. But yeah, I thought the coaching staff for Alabama came to play. But dude, the details, like if Alabama's gonna win a national championship or be a national championship contender, like they're gonna get beat by the things they did. So yeah, and I guess I'll do my kicker thing. So they miss a 31-yard field goal, and it's a high snap, no doubt. The snap from the long snapper is high, and the ball gets down, laces out. So no matter what, even if the snap is high, the ball is on the ground on time, and it's a 31-yard kick, and the kicker shanks it horribly. And the camera pans to his face, and he is yelling at the long snapper that it's too high, like the snap was too high on like national television. He knows like at this point the camera's on his face, and he's just he's reaming out his long snapper. And my answer is like, dude, like do your job. Don't worry about his job. Do your job. Like, go kick the field goal. And if you do miss, like, how about you go pick up your teammate and be like, hey, like, I know it's a bad stat, but like, I got to make the kick. Like, be a
His
teammate.
laces out
Be a
too. I'm
leader.
sorry.
Laces are out. If the
hold
ball's
was
on time,
fine. Yeah.
and the hold is money, and you
The play was
shank
sick.
it. Yeah, you shank it because you're not mentally tough enough to just stick to the process, and like you didn't trust your holder to get that kick down, and like that's still your fault. And like I just absolutely hated seeing him ream out his long snapper and just like not take any blame for what he did. And that is just loser. That's a loser mentality, and that's being a terrible teammate. Like I hated that. Why that was my least favorite thing watching all day. Like just sad, just so sad. And that's not the type of like toughness that you need to have as like a great football team, or if you want to be a great football player. Like, dude, pick your teammates up. It's not about you. It's about like the team, and it's about the other guys. And obviously the long snapper, dude, after the kick happens,
Dude, he's like holding
his face mask. Like he knows he messed up, but like you also messed up, bro. Like, how about you go fucking lift his chin up and be like, it's all good, man. Like we're gonna get the next one. Like,
Oh, good. I missed the kick too.
Yeah, have fun telling the guy that's gonna block guys running full thing at him. Like that. Yeah, you're right, Charlie. Like I hate when kickers blame everyone else.
not even kickers, football players. Like I hate when a quarterback starts yelling at a receiver or yelling at an O lineman, or I hate when the tackle starts yelling at a guard mid play, like after the play, because like he thought he was gonna have inside help. Like I understand, like football is a tough game. Like not everybody's gonna be perfect. Like, but it's your job to be a good teammate, and like that's important.
Agreed. Sad.
Yeah. I don't really have too much to say about this game as a whole. Definitely strange seeing Bama like kind of I'm not dominated, but it was just like it was like a mental domination. It was like mental errors all over the field. Simpson didn't play his best game. Obviously, he had the pick six. He had a few misses. Ryan Grubb had that great play call. I think Chuck mentioned that tight end, like the little Y leak. Plays like that are cool. Weird to see it happen to Bama at home. Maybe Bama has an Oklahoma problem, but yeah, that was a pretty interesting game. Although I was in and out of it, but it still final score was still shocking even after like watching how the game played out.
Yeah, I felt like remember when Bama used to lose in the Saban era, and it was like this huge deal. It was like a national holiday when Bama would lose, but there was always like Bama did almost everything in their power to lose the game. Like the one Iron Bowl when they missed 4 field goals, or the A&M game when they gave up a kick return touchdown. It was just like all these things go wrong for Bama, and it's just exactly what happened here. Like Oklahoma has the huge return. Bama fumbles a punt, which the podcast has been on fake or fumbled punts. This has been a common theme so far.
You
But
don't win
yeah, it just
football
felt
games.
like that missing field goals, big special teams plays by Oklahoma, poorly timed turnovers from Bama. And it's just like making you hope and think that like, did Bama peak in the wrong time of the season? Like it almost seems like Georgia and them have gone on different trajectories since mid-October. And Bama's kind of like skated by. They struggled against South Carolina. They did not play great against LSU. And like Pate said this was supposed to be a get right spot for them. And it wasn't. Um, Another thing we talked about this about Mateer early in the season about how like he's uber talented, but his main flaw was these crazy turnovers and him just trying to be a hero and losing them games. And what I feel like I've noticed in this Bama game as well as the Tennessee game was like when he doesn't have his best, like he's still not trying to be a hero and he's still just making the play in front of him, making the easy plays and making like clutch plays, like that one couple runs down the stretch there in that game. So like a lot of credit to Mateer and just him being able to kind of be a leader in a sense of not trying to do too much himself and trusting his teammates and trusting their game plan. Um, Another thing, Charlie, we were talking about this today. Cuevas from Bama, shout out him. Like does not get talked about at
Number
all, but
80, Mexican tight end,
he's a
player, ball player,
huge part of their offense.
ball player.
And last shout out, Oklahoma's kicker, 7 for 7 from 50 plus this year. He has single-handedly won them 2 games from 50 plus yard kicks. This game in Tennessee on the road.
Nobody doesn't bitch at his long snapper when he misses either.
There's a few things that I really like that Oklahoma did in this game as well. Charlie mentioned it earlier, the pressure they were able to generate. I think they did a really good job using sim pressures. Because
Can you explain to the general public what is a simulated pressure? Can you
okay, so a
explain that?
simulated pressure is a team has 4 down defensive linemen. Typically, most defenses play with 4 down linemen, like typical structure as you'd see one. And then a simulated pressure, for example, with a 4 down front would be if you drop out a defensive end and replace him with another rusher on the opposite side or on the interior. So you're still rushing 4 people, which is like a typical pass rush, but you're not rushing the 4 down defensive linemen. Like either one is dropping into coverage or there's a bunch of different ways
And
you can do
usually
it.
the
But
blitzer is coming from depth. And the
exactly.
reason that is
Yeah,
so
like the blitzer will be a linebacker depth and the defensive end will drop out.
Mhm.
Or like it could be a defensive tackle. It could be anyone on the defensive front, but they'll replace them with someone blitzing from depth. Or a lot of teams will also like show 6 up across the front. And when you do that, an offensive line has base rules for how they're IDing a protection. So if it's 5-man or 6-man pro, it depends on that. That also would depend on how you're IDing it. But at the end of the day, you only have 5 or 6 guys to block 5 or 6 when they're showing it. So you're setting each guy to a specific person. And if a team drops 2 and rushes 4, but it's not the 4 you expected it to be, then you could have that's the situation where you'd see two offensive linemen blocking one guy and one guy getting a free run at the quarterback. So in this game, a lot of the sim pressures resulted in the back picking up the blitzer. And like you were saying, the back struggled a lot in protection, and OU was able to generate pressures to get sacks, and it also directly led to the pick 6 that Simpson threw too. So I thought it was a great job by Venables having that game plan and trying to exploit some of those aspects of the Alabama pass protection that they knew that would be vulnerable. And I also think Taylor Wean, their edge rusher, had a really good rep against the true freshman right tackle Michael Carroll. I've been talking about a lot, who I thought played pretty well, but that was a bad rep. And OU ended up recovering a fumble in Alabama territory and hitting another kick. So that's kind of the football game right there. If you look at the final score, also Mateer there was two really awesome plays that stood out to me for Mateer. The QB counter for a huge explosive rushing touchdown earlier in the game, and then it was the fourth quarter, a 3rd and 13, where Mateer hung in the pocket and completed a huge pass to Satania. I think on
who's
that,
unbelievable. Isaiah
yeah,
Satania is one of the best receivers in the country. Has to be, in my
100%.
opinion.
And they ended up hitting a field goal on that drive too, which there's the football game. Um, so those two things stood out to me from a tier. And from an Alabama perspective, I think they were the better football team in this game. They just made so many mistakes that you're not going to be able to overcome against a team like OU has a strong defense and can make plays on offense. And a lot of that goes back to the one dimensionality of their offense. So no matter how strong your passing attack is, and they move the ball pretty well all game in the pass game, but no matter how strong it is, if you can't run the ball at all, like you're gonna leave yourself vulnerable to making mistakes when you have to simply rely on being able to complete passes and having your O line hold up in protection. It's not going to be
And Duska,
100% perfect all the time, and like some of the mistakes can be more drastic,
and
like
Duska,
they were in this game, and that's going to lead to a loss.
when do teams usually send simulated pressure? What down and distance?
On 3rd and long,
And
easily.
and
Yeah.
so because of the inability to be efficient on 1st and 2nd down running the football, Bama is put in these positions where their O line time and time again has to ID correctly, and their backs have to hold up in protection just for Ty Simpson to be able to get the ball off. And and a good team like Oklahoma with a great front that Art just talked about time and time again throughout this season, that could get you beat. So I think
And Alabama, they've been able to get away with it because they probably have the best receiving core and one of the best quarterbacks in the country. But
yep.
I think you see
And a
the
dialed
potential
scheme.
threats. Yeah, you see the threats that can present themselves when things aren't going as perfectly and you're not as good of a rhythm and you're forced into mistakes. And
Yeah.
that's why they lost this
I,
game. So
it's kind of like Ole Miss last year. Like they had the similar offense to Bama. They could not run the ball, and it cost them in those tough games that they lost.
Yeah. Good point. Great point.
and
We're
I
gonna
think that's important. That's an important theme to stay on top of as we get later in the year too. And they're playing really good teams. Like a game like this could easily happen if you can't rely on your run game, especially late in the year.
The good thing for Bama is they play an all girls team next week, and then they play Auburn in Auburn, and I believe they're in Jordan Hare. The
At
only
night,
at night,
at night for the first time since like
the
2011.
only thing that Auburn is sitting Ashton Daniels, their starting quarterback, to preserve a year of eligibility. So we're probably going to see Jackson Arnold in the flesh
Remember
for
last time he played Alabama?
true. Yeah, true. Well, we'll see what ends up happening with that. Do you guys want to do
Well,
Pitt or Navy next?
There's just to clarify, they're sitting Daniels this week so they can play him in the Iron Bowl.
Oh, they are.
He's only at 3 games played this year, and if they play
Oh,
him this week
nice.
and next week, and I mean they might need him. They play the mighty Mercer Bears. Auburn does this week, so sneaky spot for him.
Mercer's
But
hoping to get out of that game
I kind
without
of love
injuries
that they
too.
like came out and said that they're doing that.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty sick.
this is literally going to be their Super Bowl.
Oh, great. Good for. Okay, that's nice. Good to know. I was misinformed, but
Mercer might have more to play for come December than Auburn does though. So
honestly,
Oh, absolutely.
watch out for who they sit out in that game.
yeah. Do you want to go Pitt or Navy next?
Go Navy.
All right, let's do Navy. Okay, so and then we'll do Georgia after that. So Navy, what a big win for Navy. It's 41-38. They beat USF, who was a ranked number 25 in the country, with wins over Florida and wins over Boise State, and a win over North Texas. So, a really good football team this USF team wasn't, and Navy's offense just came to play. They did a really good job. They got Tessa going, and Teska is the Mount Lebo running back, and as he gets healthier and healthier, you see he wears that fat knee brace on his knee. Like you could see he keeps getting healthier week in and week out. So He was playing awesome. I mean, the Third Reich he gets loose every game. Like every game he's loose. So he made a great one-handed catch, an explosive play. And my uncle Jimmy, who went to Navy, graduated 95. He was at the game with some of his buddies. So we had some good luck in the building with my uncle Jimmy. Um, but yeah, great game from our offense, and we have a ton of weapons. We have Chapman, we have Heidenreich, we have Teza, we have Horvath, and then dude, our backup quarterback was getting loose, man, getting loose when Horvath went down. And you'd like to see Horvath keep getting healthier, but it's nice to just have that option. Number 5 getting loose. So that is what I'll say about the offense. The next part, and you guys I think would have a couple really good laughs if you go through my document, and like as I pulled some clips with some commentary on our defense. Um, our defensive backs are so ass. You talk about awful technique and just getting fried and just getting like with this one touchdown guy just got cross faced with ease. I said, do we have a better corner on the roster than 17? He's off at 8 yards, gets a move put on him that's like fine, and then no makeup speed, doesn't even attempt to play the football. Our tackling was so bad. I mean, so bad. We're playing number 3, number 10, and number 17 at DB. Ended up putting a guy who's number 40 in at DB at corner, and like we were just getting fried all game. Like the tackling, the secondary is atrocious. Yeah, you guys really need to read this document because there's some clips that are just completely atrocious. And yeah, that's just the thing that's going to hold Navy back as like a true contender. Not that they're going to, if they would ever get in the playoff, they'd be a 12 seed and they'd get murdered. But in the AAC race, like when you play North Texas, like that's why they lost to North Texas. Like they got fried all game, like in the air. And so just as a Navy fan, like it sucks that our offense might be the best that I've ever seen from us. Like since 2016, this is the best offense I've seen from Navy in the most multiple. And we can throw the ball. We have Heidenreich's the leading yards and touchdowns are like leader in Navy history. Teza gets active. So yeah, I don't know if you guys got eyes on this game, but the JMU is just a more complete team at this point, and they're probably going to get the G5 bid, barring anything crazy happening. But yeah, Navy's defense is not great. But hopefully, we beat Memphis next week, and then go to the AAC championship, win that game, and then beat Army. So those are three big games ahead of us, and some of those teams don't love throwing the football. So that's what I got.
College football
Yeah.
playoff rankings are coming out right now. That's why I'm looking over here.
Nice.
Anything big?
Bama's at 10.
I was looking at your doc, Chuck, because that play was really funny. That the 3rd and 2, where number 3, that was like the funniest play I think I've seen. When they're down 11 and the guy hurtles and he ends up getting hit and then stays on his feet because it was like the softest tackle attempt
ever. And his back's turned on the first move, and then he like softly leans into the guy, thinking like it's.
I remember watching that live. I was like, "What in the world?" Like this game was awesome. I feel bad if you didn't get to watch the back and forth.
Great, Graham. Great.
Like USF, there was one point Byron Brown has like a 50-yard QB draw, literally untouched. Like he's like jogging into the end zone, and then the next play, Braxton Woodson, Navy's quarterback, just takes off to the house 64 yards. It was just back and forth all day. Unfortunately, USF faithful here. That was about it. That's basically the wrap on their season. But Navy played good. This spot, I don't know. This spot, like the spread wise, reminded me of the game they played against Tulane last year, where then the Navy got beat by like 40, and I thought that kind of would have happened this time. But I mean,
Navy at home is a different. We're a really good home team. Like whenever we play at home, it's tough. So, building was juiced up. My uncle said so. And the next thing was I think my funniest quote was, I said, number 10, get off the field. My goodness. And I said, we're going to really have to overhaul this DB room next year with the portal. And then I said, oh, wait. So
is number 10 the guy who, oh, yeah. Number 10
some prep guys that are on the way up. Don't worry.
Just getting fried, dude. Literally getting fried. Like, oh, dude, yes. Like, Yeah, there. Hopefully, we got some prep dudes from Maryland or wherever they're from Texas that can like that have skinnier ankles and can cover better and like want to tackle, like want to tackle.
This
You don't have
the
to be a
second the
what,
second quarter play where it was 13-3 and that corner doesn't even like touch the dude off
dude. Doesn't
the
even touch
he
him.
just
Just
he
fried,
doesn't even touch him, and it's like a slot fade like just hilarious. Like
fried, like actually fried. Like you're literally watching the DBs and like the coaching staff is trying. Like we're throwing in 40, 40 gets 50-yard explosive. We throw in 10, he let up 3 touchdowns. 17 is like not that athletic. Like that's the one you're talking about, Arch. He literally just doesn't even get hands on, turns around, like runs like weirdly and just gets fried. I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, what are we doing? So I'd love to. Yeah. I mean, I'd love to talk to. Hopefully, I see like Eli and Alex one day, and I'm like, dude, like, so the secondary, like, what's the team think about that? Because it's bad.
I
Um,
just I want to highlight, first of all, awesome win for America in this game. Go Mids. But
yeah,
the fourth quarter. So the fourth quarter started with Navy leading the game 24-16. And I just want to highlight what happened on the next 6 drives, just to put a picture on how awesome this game was. So Navy kicks a field goal on that drive that started the fourth. 27-16 was the score. And then the next 5 drives, a USF touchdown. So it was 27-24. Navy touchdown, 34-24. USF touchdown, 34-30. Navy touchdown, 41-30. And then USF touchdown, 41-38. So just score after score being answered by both teams. And Navy was just finding a way. Like Arch was saying, Braxton Woodson came into the game. They were still finding a way to get it done. That he had a nice touchdown run on a GT counter read. There was one play that was like a fake sweep, like power read, play action, like wheel route to the end zone. Like that play was unbelievable. They were just
dude,
Navy was getting so
Drew
crafty.
Cronick was just in his
Yeah,
bag. Like Drew Cronick is
100%.
a great OC. Like Mercer guy, Arch Drew Cronick. Yeah, dude, great OC.
right.
He's actually a magician with the option.
And then one thing about Byron Brown too is I hope this guy clearly he's probably doesn't have a chance in the NFL as a quarterback. I think you just watch him throw the ball and you can make that conclusion. But the guy is a special athlete with the football in his hands. So if there's a way that
Somebody make him a tight
the
end.
NFL could possibly fit him into an offensive scheme, like maybe like a Taysom Hill type deal, like I could just see him being a weapon in the NFL. He had 136 rushing yards in this game to go along with everything they did in the air as well. So just
He's
a
a
heroic effort
unbelievable
by him.
athlete.
Just yeah, just USF defense couldn't get a stop either. I know we talked about Navy's vulnerabilities in the secondary, but USF was just as bad.
I mean,
And
I feel like we were just executing our stuff, and like Drew Cronick was miles ahead of their D coordinator. It wasn't. I just thought like the difference between like our defense versus USF's defense is like we were just so limited personnel wise. Like it was like, oh my gosh, like that wasn't even we had no answer, you know. But like I feel like it was really impressive to see what Navy's offense did. Just like wow, like USF's
that's
a
a good
good
point.
defense. Like that's a really good defense for
Also,
as G5 standards go.
the broadcast said that the 82-yard completion to Eli Heidenreich, that was the largest Navy completion in 15 years, 82 yards. So
One hander
just,
too. That was
yeah,
sick. That was
yeah,
so sick.
unbelievable. That guy's a really special receiver, like not
Yes.
even just a running back.
Yeah, he's sick.
So,
I mean, yeah,
yeah,
he's the all-time leader in receptions, yards, and maybe not receptions, but yards and maybe receptions. Definitely yards and touchdowns. He's the leading receiver.
he passed Mark Mills 20 career receptions.
Yep. Yeah. Passed it.
Yeah,
Pass it.
yeah.
Past that probably like game three is his sophomore year. Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's all we got on Navy. But um, yeah, big opportunity next week. I mean, next week, and hopefully we see them in the AAC championship.
So
Love to
let's
see.
can we put a picture on the AAC right now and
Yeah.
talk about like who's
Yeah.
contending
Okay,
and what's
so
going on?
the mathematical chances, the highest percentages, I believe, are Tulane and Navy. Um, no, I don't know. It's a 3 horse race. I was reading an article on this the other day, but I didn't put like all the scenarios
So
down.
Navy's 7-1 in American play,
Hmm.
and then the other two are 6-1.
Yep. And then North Texas lost to wait, no. North Texas
No,
lost to
they lost
USF.
to USF.
USF.
So maybe
Navy
it's,
lost to North Texas,
but then we're not playing Tulane.
and Tulane has lost to UTSA. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at the percentages, like the two highest. Yeah, let's see the championship game scenarios here.
Tulane was ranked in the playoff rankings today.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know, North Texas I thought was ranked, and I don't know why North Texas would drop out.
Was JMU ranked?
No.
No,
Okay.
Oh
So
wait. Okay, wait. Oh wait, this is from last week. Whoa.
I thought
So
North Texas was ranked. I think if North Texas wins the American, they'll be ranked over JMU.
I hope so, dude.
it seems like they want to put a American team in over a Sun Belt team, no matter what.
yeah,
I mean,
JMU's schedule is also horrible this year.
yeah, like they play App
I
State.
think the Sun Belt is just a little down overall.
Yeah.
The Sun Belt is really down. I think they're
Yeah.
honestly the conference that's got hit the most with the portal. Like with
Well,
guys going up.
That's kind of where all the sneakiest talent is, if you think about it. Just a lot of guys that are a little under recruited, but they're from those southern hotspots.
Southern states.
Where?
Yeah,
I mean, Ahmad Hardy was from there, and he's now leading the nation in rushing yards.
Yeah.
So
perfect
Wait,
example.
what did we I missed that. I was reading it. What did
We
you
were
say?
saying the Sun Belt. Arch was saying the Sun Belt was hit the hardest out of all the G5 conferences
Yeah.
in terms of the portal, and we're saying like that's where regionally there's probably a lot of really good sneaky
The state of
ballers
Georgia, the
that
state
get
of
under
Florida.
recruited and end up at those Sun Belt type schools.
Mhm.
So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
I think Memphis and North Texas and USF, they all just it seems like they have bigger budgets than a lot of the Sun Belt. Like Coastal Carolina is definitely isn't stacking up to the budget of USF
Memphis,
and
yeah.
and Memphis.
Dude, a lot of those
So,
brands are like pretty like the Memphis brand is like that's a decent brand like
Yeah.
nationally like especially with basketball like Penny Hardaway like so yeah, do we want to move on to Georgia, Texas?
Yep.
Dude, the first thing I'll say, Bobo is in his bag. What is it, Mike Bobo?
Mhm.
Yeah, Mike Bobo, absolutely in his bag. He was the old Colorado State head coach, did not have a great stint there. And then he was the offensive coordinator at South Carolina under Will Muschamp. And then he was the interim coach for three games at South Carolina. Um, and yeah, I was just following like kind of his career. But yeah, he's been in his bag, and the Dogs are rolling, and they're finding something. And Art's like I have some stuff to say, but I want you to kind of go first.
yeah, really awesome win. Top to bottom. My only critique, I would say, like my only critique would be our offense. I feel like for about 3 or 4 drives a game has not even like a play calling. It's like an execution problem. Where it's like just like three and outs. Which we saw in like the end of the second quarter, start of the third quarter. Which you're gonna have to like figure those out. Like even like not every drive is gonna end up in a score, but every drive like you should be able to get a first down on most drives and like chew clock and give your defense breaks when your defense is like playing really well. I think we got fortuitous. I know like I guess you'll get into that. Texas had a lot of drops and a lot of like self-inflicted wounds, but Georgia's corners, DeMelo Jones, number 15, he played probably the best physical game from a cornerback I've seen this year. Noah Thomas, first 2 touchdowns for Georgia. That's pretty cool. I've been harping on him. I think he's going to break out soon. I said that ever since Colby Young went down, and Noah Thomas has just played more and more, obviously, with Colby Young going down. But yeah, I thought it was an awesome game. That was probably I think that was my first onside kick I've ever seen from Georgia do that wasn't like a legitimate onside, like when you needed the ball back. So that was like insane. Kirby put him in a body bag, and then he was putting him in a body bag in the pressers all week. So, yeah, awesome game though. I don't have too much to say other than that. Offense played well. Defense played way better than I thought they would, and they're getting hot at the right time. I think they're starting to peak, and you want to start peaking in November and December, and I think that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, we were talking about how like Alabama like just not playing detail oriented football right now. Like Georgia is playing very detail oriented football, and one of the stats I can show you is they had one penalty for 15 yards in this game. one penalty for 15 yards. That is unbelievable. That is so good, so disciplined to be able to have to play a clean game of football like that. Also crazy that Zachariah Branch and Mekhi Lemon were on the same team. And Mekhi Lemon were on the same team last year at USC, and they had to pick one or the other because the other was going to go in the portal. But Zachariah Branch's movement skills are just insane. So as Colby Young's gone down, like they've used Branch more, Thomas more, the tight ends more. Nice to see Humphreys get a touchdown. So yeah, that was just. It was just a master class from Georgia, and it was really the last 20 minutes of the game. It was a 14-10 game with like 3 minutes left in the third quarter, and then it's 35-10 final. And you just don't see that all the time. So, one thing I wanted to point out on the document, if you guys want to go back and watch it after the podcast, is the QB movement package that Mike Bobo had this game was stellar. They had a QB, it was a QB movement play on Noah Thomas's first touchdown. It's a fourth and short, deep in their own territory, and they're only up four. Another great QB movement play, and then yeah, there's three amazing QB movement plays where you're kind of just getting Gunnar Stockton on the run, and Gunnar Stockton, guys playing really good football, and that's really all I have to say about the Bulldogs team. They're playing well. I thought the O-line leaned on the Texas front late in the game, and you could tell they were tired, and Texas had a lot of trouble sustaining drives as well. So, if you guys have anything to add to the Georgia front, and maybe we can move on to Texas at some point too, because that's a little bit more of an interesting angle.
I have a Texas point. It starts with the fact that, I mean, I think Georgia's defense deserves a lot of credit for how well they played. Like you were saying, it was 14-10 game in the third quarter, and the Georgia defense was just unbelievable. Texas ran the ball for 23 yards on 17 carries. So for as much flack as Arch Manning has gotten this year, for all the hit pieces that people have written on him, and for all the expectations and everything, the focus should no longer be on Arch. It should be on Texas's inability to run the ball at all and put Arch in a position to win in these big games, which they haven't been able to do all season. And in all the Texas losses, that's a pretty common theme. And I know that's not as flashy. It wouldn't get as many clicks as just shitting on Arch would get. But Arch has played a lot better since the start of the season. And he flashed in this game too. He's flashed in basically every game since a few games in where you could really see him start to settle in and get a lot more comfortable. And Texas was 2 for 12 on third down. And that directly relates to them putting Arch in situations where it's third and long every single time. And we talked about it earlier. That's when defenses just tee off on your offensive line and they get pressure. And if it's a good defense, they're going to make it really tough on you to convert. And you see that in the statistic. And Georgia, for the most part this season, hasn't really been a great pressure generating team, but they were able to do a really good job in this game because Texas was in a really tough spot for most of the time. And Georgia did a really good job getting him in that spot by stopping the run and really making this offense inefficient and look really bad. And that's, I mean, that's a huge testament to Georgia, and a lot of credit goes that way. But I think it's also a failure on Texas's part to put their quarterback in a good position to win. And I mean, you see the result of that in the final score.
Yeah, I think like going back to Georgia a little bit, I feel like this team this year kind of reminds me of how the Chiefs have been the last few years, where people might say, oh, they're down because they're winning these close games, or they're very flawed, or their defense isn't good. But no matter what, like you know that if you don't kill them right away, that they're going to peak in late October and November, and that's exactly what's happened this year. I think you hear a lot of people saying throughout seasons, like when it comes to November, like you kind of are what you are. But what I was super impressed with how Georgia was able to scale their pass rush in this game and have that be a major aspect um, of them taking this game over. And I also have just been so impressed with Gunnar Stockton week in and week out. And I think Georgia right now can be argued as they are the class of the SEC, just on how they've played the last 2 weeks, going out in a really tough spot in Starkville, smoking Mississippi State, coming out and just really just sucking the life out of Texas in the fourth quarter of that game. And I just think at the end of the day, it just boils down to Kirby Smart and the program that he runs and the identity that they have and how they just feed off each other week in and week out. And now, Arch, do you guys play an SEC game this week, or is it
They play the Citadel or something.
No,
They're
we're done
finished
with
with their
that.
SEC schedule.
nice?
Who do you play?
And
Alex?
then
Yeah. We finished we played the
They play
mighty
Charlotte
49ers
and then
this week.
Ooh, yeah, the Niners.
and then Tech.
I meant to send this to you guys. I was reading today on our little break. There's like a really murky SEC tiebreaker. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with it.
Not
Yeah,
familiar.
if Kentucky beats Vandy or something like that, and then Florida beats Tennessee, then Georgia jumps Bama, even though Georgia lost to them head to head and they have the same amount of losses. It's it's a weird tiebreaker, like opponent win percentage or something.
Yeah, it's like strength of record.
Yeah, and if that happened, it'd be Georgia, or I think it would be Georgia A&M. And then if A&M loses to Texas next week, Georgia's in anyway. But if A&M loses and then that happens, it's like Georgia versus Ole Miss. Like Ole Miss would jump Bama then. It's crazy. I don't know how they're going to solve that, but
There's also, is there a chance that, so say Alabama makes it at 10-2 in the SEC championship, they lose to A&M and they're 10-3. Do you think there's a chance an 11-1 Georgia would get the bye over Alabama?
They're the
they
fourth seed
should,
right
but I
now.
don't think they would.
You don't think they would if Alabama had 3 losses?
I think they would, but I don't know if they will. Although they are 10 this week, but you know how like
Georgia's four. They're right. If everything holds, they'll get the bye.
yeah.
Which honestly, like that scenario is unbelievably advantageous for Georgia. Other than the fact that you would sit out would it be 2 or 3 weeks? Like, I don't know if that's always the best thing, but
If it wasn't a good coaching, if it wasn't as proven of a coaching staff, I'd be worried
Exactly,
about that.
yeah.
But I'm not worried about that.
that's true.
Would
That's
you
fair.
rather have the bye or the 5 seed?
5
And
seed.
play like
5 seed.
Navy.
The 4
5 seed.
seed's pretty great too, though.
The 4 seed is pretty brutal, I think, because the 5
Really?
seed is going to be. I think the 5 seed.
I think
this
you'd
year is
rather
gonna
have the
be
5
Texas
seed and
Tech.
have a home playoff game against a G5 school.
Yeah, but I'm saying like from the 4, because the 4 plays the winner of 5 and 12. That like if Georgia's the 4 seed, that'll really suck because we'll play Texas Tech, and I think that we can beat Texas Tech, and I think we'll be favored over them. But that's definitely one of the harder matchups. I think.
You'd have to play like Texas Tech than Oregon. You're saying you'd rather play Oregon than Texas Tech, or like you'd rather play?
I think so. I think
Like-
I'd rather play Oregon than Texas Tech, but I don't know.
Really?
No, I would.
I think
would
just
not
Texas.
agree.
I don't know if I'm like just. I guess it might be skewed from like Texas Tech just like whooping up on the Big 12, but their D line is really good.
I think
But I
you
don't think
take
their offense is near as scary as Oregon's could be.
take most Oregon scores against Big 10 teams and like against Big 12 teams. I think it's even worse against like some of those bottom tier teams. But
Yeah.
there's questions surrounding Oregon still.
Could be answered this week.
Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah. I like what we talked about. I think we hit the Texas thing pretty good.
How about Texas? One more scenario. Texas 9-3 with a win over A&M.
I think they'll be in the first 4 out.
Okay.
I don't think you can in the right.
There's
mind
too many
pick
10-2 teams, unfortunately.
Dude, there's going to be like Armageddon if everything holds. Like this could get really murky. Like what about even tonight, Miami behind Notre Dame? And like what if they're both 10-2?
I think
Yeah.
Notre Dame, just based off trajectory from the week 1.
But how do you? But then why play the games?
Yeah,
If
I don't know.
Fair.
head to head
Yeah.
doesn't matter, then why would you play the games?
Fair. Very fair.
I think the toughest part is I think this is the first. Well, like last year, maybe. I think the playoff is too big. I think 12 for this year is too big. I
What?
don't think
No
that
shit, dude. No shit, dude.
yeah,
Fucking
like
joke.
there's
12
like
team playoff is.
like Utah should not be like I've been the biggest Utah truther. The fact
They
they're
should
number
not
12,
make the playoffs. Yeah.
the fact they're number 12 was just like what? And
They're
like I
ahead
don't
of they're ahead of
Bro, at the very max, there's only 6 teams that deserve a chance to play.
So
for
who
national
are the
title.
4 tonight, Sam?
top 4 was IU at the 3 and then Georgia.
Okay. See, like that. I mean, that's a good 4. Like
What,
if we
Ohio
still had the
State-
4 team,
Ohio State,
and
Indiana, Texas
A&M,
A&M, and
Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, the four most deserving teams to
Not
go to
Ole
the national
Miss.
championship.
and then if you want to do 6, like you
No,
toss Texas Tech
Ole
in.
Miss in the old era, you know, dude, Ole Miss plays a great bowl game against freaking against
They
Texas.
probably
think
play in
it's a
the
sick, and it's a
they
sick
probably play
bowl
a
game.
G5 team or something. Yeah.
6 would be really good this year. Because no ACC
think-
team deserves to make the playoff.
Yep, 6 would be great.
I
You're
think
right.
8.
Texas Tech does. Texas Tech should make it in. But outside
Alabama
of that,
probably deserves it. Like the last.
Ole
spot.
Miss, how does Ole Miss not deserve to make the playoff?
No, I mean now they do. Yeah, with 12.
no, they could be the 6th seed.
Oh yeah, okay. You're saying 6.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
I also
12,
think
it's
this
like-
year is just the G5. I'm sorry, Charlie. The G5 bid is just ridiculous.
Why are you saying sorry?
Because like Navy getting the playoff. I
Dude,
I
I
think
don't-
it's just
I want
so
us to beat Army.
insane.
I want us to win the AAC and beat Army. Like the playoff, it's just stupid that the G5
Cool for
team-
Navy, but like they're just gonna
It's
get
just a
dog
dumb,
walked.
They're
it's,
gonna-
it's a charity. It's just so ridiculous that
Hmm.
that's even part of the playoff.
Yeah,
But I understand like
Vanderbilt at 14 is the biggest joke I've ever seen.
why?
I don't like at 4. Dude, they're behind Texas, and Texas. I don't care that final score was 3. Texas beat them like a drum.
That's true.
Like Texas said, like I think USC
mean-
should be above Vanderbilt, and they're not.
Vandy doesn't really have any eye-popping wins.
They don't have any bad losses, but they don't have any like good
Exactly.
wins either.
Who are the wins?
Tennessee at Neyland would be a good win.
Mizzou. Who's their wins? Missouri. Is that their best win?
Yeah, and then if
Oh,
they make
Missouri,
it, they'll-
LSU.
if they make it, they'll have Tennessee. They beat LSU.
Missouri when
but
Bo
LSU was
Pegulas'
a
leg
dumpster
got
fire.
snapped in half in the second quarter. Like,
Yeah, that was it. That game was horrendous as well. If people remember,
was
Yeah,
the worst.
yep,
and they almost
terrible,
lost off that Hail Mary.
terrible football game.
Yeah.
The LSU win does not hold as much weight, sadly, because LSU's a shell of itself.
and also
Texas
that
Tech-
win wasn't that impressive either.
No.
All I remember from that game is Trey Green just violating the Vandy secondary.
He did. Trey's Green's number 14, 6'7" tight end.
I don't
Nasty.
think that
Just for the
they would.
audience.
I don't think there's a way that they possibly get in.
Vandy?
Andy,
Hell
would
no.
need-
Who?
Like
I
Vandy
just
shouldn't make
don't-
it over Notre
Ooh,
Dame at this
a
point.
Neyland win though would be very nice.
yeah,
but I don't-
Vandy's 10-2 with the win over Tennessee at the last game.
I might
They
do
would
it.
have an argument, but
They should
that's
be
the
over-
thing.
they should be
have
in
an
over
argument
Utah.
for 12, but there shouldn't be 12. Yeah, they should be
I think-
over Utah. Then.
I think the moral of the story is that 12 is just silly this year because there's so many 10-2 teams that aren't all that impressive, but there's gonna
It's
have to
because
be
conferences are
decisions
too damn
that- to be
big.
made.
No one plays each other, and then everybody is 10-2 with 0 quality wins because they played. Some team got UCLA, Purdue,
Maryland,
Wisconsin, Maryland, Rutgers, and somebody
Rutgers.
else. Like,
yeah, like actually, no, you're right. You're right.
Can we move
then the
Rutgers to the
Big-
American?
No, we'll move them to the ACC and then relegate an ACC team to the American. Say
Well, what they
Syracuse
should
would go
do-
hard in the American.
Boston
Stanford and-
College as an independent.
Stanford and Cal should move back
They
to
need
the,
something.
the Pac-12
Yeah.
in the new Pac-12 next year.
Okay.
And then, yeah, demote a couple ACC teams back to the American.
Mhm.
Keep SMU. They've been a good addition.
Yep.
But like we can demote. There's a lot of teams we can demote.
Yeah, I mean, at the top of my head from the ACC, like
Like Wake, like
Boston College and Wake
I don't
are
know,
right
yeah.
up there. I mean, Wake did have a big.
No, Wake's been good this year.
Yeah,
That's
Wake
true.
Wake gets to
Fair.
keep their big.
Bad
Wake
example.
keeps their big.
bad
And also,
example.
you
Also,
can't-
they need them for basketball. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can't take Virginia
Disregard
Tech.
everything I just said.
No. The one team that could definitely be relegated from the ACC is Boston College.
Yeah.
Them and
Fair.
UMass should combine as one football team and be like a major independent.
The
Or
Boston football team.
Yes, because UMass is
I would lead
sad.
the charge on that. They've done God.
Irreversible damage to you.
Well,
Yeah.
UMass should move back to FCS.
Yes. Maybe they should probably play Carnegie Mellon next year and just dip their toes in the D3 market.
There's a lot of things that should be fixed in college football. The first is that teams on the West Coast should have their own conference and not have to fly across the country.
Yeah. And then the first thing is that the Pitt women's lacrosse team shouldn't be missing Wednesday through Sunday class because they're playing against Cal.
They have the Cal Stanford swing that
Yeah,
week, so they're missing a week
yeah.
of class.
So they're gonna just miss a week of class. It's like, oh, nice. Who did we used to play? Yeah, well, this used to be the Syracuse spot. It's like, oh, so that was a day trip? Yeah. Okay, well, no longer. What a shame, dude. And Arch, you're right. Like, no, not every team plays each other, which is such a sad reality.
That's the
Like,
problem. They went away from divisions, and it kind of made it worse.
yeah.
Definitely
No.
made it work. It's just slop now.
You see
It's
the
just,
Big Ten, what they
Yeah,
did
it is
today?
just slop. What?
No,
They
the 2014 playoff.
They try to do a 20. They got every conference commissioner in Charlotte, I believe, and then
Yep.
asked for a
Proposed it.
24 team.
They made a
Why the
presentation on
hell
a
would I have
24
to
team.
watch Illinois play Notre Dame in
This
the
is-
like
college
some of
football playoff?
some of the top 25 teams right now are foul, and it would
Dude,
just
Houston is at
it's
23,
just a
and they
waste of
genuinely
time.
played nobody. Houston
It's a
just
waste
played
of
two
time to
teams,
have
and they
them in
got
the
their
playoffs.
ass whooped.
Wait. Can I make an argument real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna make this argument. The 24 team playoff with less games in a regular season is a better idea than the 12 team playoff. Because the
fully agree
24
with
team
you.
playoff is like what D2 and FCS do already. And it's like it works well because if you are the 24th seed, like you're gonna play North Dakota State and like they're gonna roll you and you deserve to get rolled by North Dakota State. But they also play one less regular season game, so like you can do that, right? I think
Teams play 12 games in FCS now, though.
okay, well, whatever you play the same whatever you play more games, but we don't have okay. You know what the FCS and D2 does? They don't have a 4-week lull where nobody plays football. That's the stupidest
true.
shit I've ever heard of. So you take away the lull and you just make it a 2014 play. Then it just makes it easy, dude. Because then
Also,
it's like
the top 8 teams get a bye in the FCS, which is like that's what you play for, I guess, in the regular season, which would be sad that the regular season gets
Mhm.
degraded down to that level. But
No, but what if you
you want to do it?
did? What if you took it from 12 games to 10 games, and that I guess if you want to keep opening weekend Labor Day, so you can have the game spread out, whatever. And then instead of Georgia playing Mercer, then you play a preseason game.
you
Georgia
scrap
plays
the Ireland game in the beginning of the year.
scrap week 0 and make that the preseason.
Adding this classic,
Yeah.
Make it
Sam,
the
I'm with you.
preseason.
Make it the one
Make it a
preseason
preseason game, or
Yeah,
like
make it the FCS
or another
week.
fall scrimmage if they want meaningful reps before week
Mhm.
1, and then go to 10 games.
Yeah. And then you don't
And-
have you play like 8 conference games, 2 non-conference, and then like you rip the 2014 playoffs. I just think that's
And then what you could do is you could do a challenge. You could do 8 conference games and then 2 challenge weekends.
you mean like what you-
SEC, ACC, SEC Big Ten challenge or something like that.
okay, like again, this is all like fairy tale land where this is not happening. But I
I
just
think
think like
the overarching issue is that it's sad that we have to have this conversation in the first place because the systems that we've had previously, like the 14 playoff,
and the BCS, let's not forget the BCS.
and before that the BCS, where the national championship this year probably would have been like Texas A&M and Ohio State, which is fine.
No,
which is-
it would just be the SEC champ versus the Big Ten champ, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
they're probably the 2 best teams in the
Yeah,
country. All right.
and it's like, all right, these 2 teams, they probably deserve to play for a national championship. They did what they were supposed to do in the regular season. They
And the
won their
Rose Bowl still
conference.
matters. Like, remember when
Yeah.
the Rose Bowl mattered? That was sick.
Yeah. And now we're playing this game and we're gonna name a national champion, but other teams also have the opportunity to win a New Year's Six Bowl and get a lot out of their season. But
Yeah.
that's okay. That's a
No, we just
bygone
can-
era.
No, let's just force money down people's throats and then devalue the currency of what college football is and
Well,
make
now
bowl
we're
season meaningless.
gonna have like
Kenny Pickett, do you
Vandy.
think you'd rather play? You want to play in that bowl game now, bud, or is your the NFL career was just so important that you couldn't play in like your last bowl game at Pitt against Michigan State for all the pride in the world? Like that didn't matter. Like, dude, why is that? Like, dude, remember when
Well, look,
JSN? Remember when JSN in the Rose Bowl just had 300 yards? Like that was sick. Remember when that happened? Like, Yeah, like I'm sure Kenny
Or-
Pickett, like, dude, you like playing being the third string? Like, you wouldn't rather have that one game back?
He won a Super Bowl though.
This is a
What would Pitt?
virus.
What would Pitt have been ranked in the playoff that year if it was 12 teams?
Probably like 10. You probably
We'd
wouldn't
be 11
Yeah,
because we would have been the ACC champ.
we
I think we
would've-
were. What did we finish ranked? Like 14,
yeah,
13?
Was that freshman year?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was when we
The fake
had
slide.
the epic loss to Western Michigan.
I can't even think of who was
At
good that
home.
year.
Well, Georgia won. They played.
They would have like
Bama.
went to USC and got dog walked, or not USC. USC was good the next year. Who was good that year?
I guess though, like the 2014 playoff does a good argument for that would be these bowl games are meaningless anyway. So like
Let's just make it let's just
You're-
do what
you-
D2 does.
That's
Like
the
they-
thing. You don't have to be playing for a national title for it to mean something.
yeah,
That
but it's
is-
Right?
all about money, and you know how much fucking money this would pull in.
yeah, yeah.
Like these people, like the average person's not watching the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl on Tuesday night, but the
Yeah,
average
I
person
am,
is
though.
watching. I'm
We'll be
talking about
there.
the average person, but the average
No,
person
I
is
know.
watching. The average person is going to watch BYU play Michigan in a playoff game.
This would be hilarious. Back to that 2021, Pitt would have played Ohio State in the first round of the playoff
Ooh.
Could have held our own.
Yeah, no doubt.
for probably the first drive. Maybe.
Yeah.
They-
Was that Stroud, Ohio State?
yeah, that was the 2021.
Oh, was that the
where
year
they-
that
That was
They
the
missed the
first
field
year they
goal?
lost to Michigan.
That was Utah JSN. 300
that was
yards
the
in
year
the
they were
Rose
in the
Bowl.
Rose Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my
Yeah.
That was,
god.
that was their first loss to Michigan.
Oh, Pitt would
That's the year they had that picture
Boat
where it
race
was like
in that game.
Olave, Garrett Wilson,
JSN, Marvin Harrison.
JSN,
Jr.
Marvin Harrison.
Marv, Julian Fleming.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, whatever happened to him, but
So you don't
Dude, I
think
think so. I think
you
some
don't think-
bad things have happened
you
to
don't-
him.
he's
Oh, really?
arrested. Yeah, he's in jail.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
He
Oh,
was like drinking and killed his girlfriend in like a ATV accident.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sucks.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
Wow. Wow, that's terrible. But Sam, I agree. I think like a 24-32, like whatever, like just do whatever like D2 and FCS do would be better than whatever this jabroni stuff is. Like,
Well,
And then you also get to a point now where it's like, how much better is like BYU than Michigan? Like,
well,
it's just so yeah. I wish that they would just go back to the old.
seems like we're headed to a 16 team,
yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's
dude.
so inevitable.
which is what it
Georgia
is.
Tech playing Texas Tech would be like actually that'd be really good football, but like Georgia Tech's probably going to get in anyway. I think. if they
I'm
win
still
ACC.
the problem is like it's still interesting. Like I'm interested by Georgia Tech, Texas Tech.
Oh, we have
Every Georgia Tech game is fun.
Yeah, no, it is. They refuse to blow teams out unless you're.
This is
Syracuse.
this is the situation that we've been placed in, and all we can do is enjoy it. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's been an awesome college football season for sure.
yeah, it has. It
and like
has.
the playoff is going to be cool once we get past the first round and the inevitable blowouts. Like it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and bowl season
Yeah.
will be fun too.
Yeah, bowl season will be fun. Now, the next part about college football, like the what I'm worried about is like the how bad the transfer portal is and fans just having zero connection with like any of the players and like when do we, because right now college football still feels so collegey and it feels nothing like professional football, but like when will it feel a little bit too much like pro football if there's not some guardrails placed on the transfer portal? That's like the next issue that I foresee in college football.
I think they took a
Would you
step
do
in the
what
right
Sam
direction
Levitt
this
did?
year.
Yeah, they're shopping Sam Levitt.
Yeah, I think Dillingham is going to take the LSU job, and Levitt knows that. Or Dillingham's gone. I don't know where he's
Dillingham
going.
just said in a press conference he's not going anywhere.
That's what
Dude, I think his NIL budget stuff is just like Arizona State does not support that program like they should, and I think he realizes this is the max they're going to get out of there. But like Levitt is literally like his camp is shopping him, like asking teams what they would pay him.
Yeah, like
Fine,
dude, that's
fine.
literally free agency.
Did you
That-
see? But did you
that's-
see Dillingham's press conference, Arch?
No,
He basically shut it all down.
that doesn't fit my narrative.
How about Lane? Did you guys see Lane on McAfee today?
No, what'd he say?
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. I think people were expecting him to come out and be like, I'm here, and he didn't. This could also just be like LSU fans and Florida fans like making themselves feel better about what he said today. Um, the only thing he did
You see
shut
what?
down was that ultimatum thing.
Yeah. Do you see what Kiffin's kids were doing though, and wife? They were
Yeah,
in
they're walking
Gainesville
around.
like 2 days ago, like scouting out high schools for the kid to transfer to.
What?
Like,
Yeah, I think he's gone.
I think he just, and whenever he goes on these, when people ask him, he just gives like word salad for like
Yeah,
five
just for
minutes. And then
fun.
Dude, he
Literally just for
loves it.
fun.
He
Yeah,
loves the
just for fun.
attention.
Yeah.
if he does this, dude, he will like. I feel like Ole Miss was like the perfect end game spot for him, and
I hope he stays in Oxford.
I think he's, I don't know. Every time I think he's gonna stay, like, I don't know. But how do you not like see this through if you're in Lane this year?
There he is.
if the worst mistake ever will be him taking any other job and not coaching the playoff.
Well,
Well,
I also
portal,
think Ole
they
Miss,
changed the
like,
portal rules, so the portal doesn't open until the beginning of January. So
which is
he's gonna
great.
have, no matter what he decides, he's gonna have time to settle into the new job and be able to recruit the portal if he wants. If Ole Miss loses at that point, if they make the semifinal of the national championship, then they'll.
I still won't think it matters. Like, he'll be fine getting guys.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, like if you're Ole Miss and Lane notifies you that he's leaving, is it in your best interest to be like, oh, go fuck yourself, like don't come back here? Like if I'm Ole Miss, I'd be like, all right, still like, can you please coach us?
Yeah, like we're not
Like
trying
when's
to
the next
lose.
time they're gonna get to the national semis?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
Um. Yeah.
Can we talk
One
What's
about
last
next?
James
thing.
Franklin?
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say one last thing about the portal, like and stuff like that. This isn't portal related, but I don't know if y'all saw Miami, Ohio's quarterback Daquan Finn, who's on his sixth year. He was at Toledo for 4 years, Baylor last year, Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, yeah.
He's sitting out the rest of the season to prepare for the NFL draft. I don't think he's on any Mel Kiper big board. I don't think they even know he's a prospect, and he's sitting out for the draft. Like that's the state of agents and parents in college football. So
That's
that's
so
just
sad.
until
There's a
that
lot of
That's
echo
so much.
that's
That's
fixed.
chambers.
so much autonomy, like, and to just make that decision, like, way too much autonomy in that decision. These,
There's a
buddy, this is your last football you'll ever play.
He doesn't care. He
way
doesn't,
too many echo
care.
chambers that are just telling kids what they want to hear
It's so sad.
to benefit themselves and not the kid. And I think a lot of those stories are going to come to light, and like you see it across college football with like guys in situations that are just bad. And
Nico,
yeah,
like
and
we
they
saw that, like that sucked. That
yeah,
really sucks. Like
and it's
for
just, a
both
lot of it
parties.
has to do with other people tinkering in their lives and convincing them of one thing that's probably not true. And then what happens and you end up in a situation like Nico, who
Mhm.
took a pay cut to go to a worse team.
I do.
And
My favorite idea in college football is you should be contractually obligated to, once you are at your desired school that you signed to, it's a 2-year contract that can only be nullified if a coach or is fired or takes another job. And also a pay scale where you're rewarded for staying at a school at a longer time, or you're rewarded with extra money for like getting your degree at the school that you originally signed to. So like if you're a kid making 300 grand as a sophomore, as a junior the most money you can make is only at the school that like you've been at. And like if you do go somewhere elsewhere, it's going to be for a pay cut. So you better be moving for like the right reasons and for like your personal development rather than just purely like a dollar sign. Because there's gonna have to be guardrails placed, because like 18-year-olds just like should not be making like decisions like this that
kind
can
of seems like that framework or infrastructure is coming eventually.
hopefully because that would do a
Every time they
ton.
try and do something, though, some sports
Antitrust.
law
Yeah.
agent does, like the agent that represented Faison, Sperry. I'm sure you wish he didn't represent him now, but he always does. He does like posts. He's like a main guy, and every single NCAA guideline that they put down, he'll like challenge in court. People like that are doing worse for the sport than they think they are, and they think they're these
Heroes.
like yeah, they think they're some like hero of like stopping the exploiting of players. Buddy, you're just ruining it.
when you're taking a fat fee cut for getting this guy some eligibility. So, like,
You're probably taking like 50%, and
yeah, like
you're
it's probably way more than the allotted. Like, if a wealth manager is taking 0.5%, like you're probably taking way more than that, and that's far too much money. So, far too much money for an agent. Yeah. Do we want to do a little pit or no?
I mean,
I have I have a quick.
I'll say something quick.
Oh, wait, let Duska go if it's not anything about
About what?
like if is it not related to pit? Like, is it something else?
No, it's pit related. Go ahead,
You
Sam. Yeah.
yeah, go Sam.
Yeah, all I was gonna say was like there's not that much to say. I mean, the score of the game didn't lie. Like we all
Yeah,
watched it. I
not
will
much
say
better.
like we kind of talked about this in the preview for the game. Like when in a game and for a team like Pitt, when like you're obviously like outmatched by Notre Dame talent wise and roster wise, like you kind of there's just such a small and narrow alley to victory in games like these. And I think in something like that, like you need to get off to a fast start. Like Pitt needed to score on that first drive. They needed to stop. Like going up 14-0 would have been huge. And it felt like everything that could not happen, that we said could not happen,
Happened.
happened at the start of that game. Jeremiah Pitt drops a ball. Jeremiah Love runs a 50-yard touchdown. Pitt then responds, pick six. And then Pitt defense gets a stop, and then you don't get six. And then that kind of felt like the game was
Yeah.
over there.
Can I run down a little bit more detailed? So yeah, Poppy Williams drops the ball, right? Then literally the Jeremiah Love run happens, like insane run. Then we throw a pick six. And then we respond. Well, then after the Jeremiah Love happens, we respond with a great kickoff return. So we get an explosive return. We're almost in our territory, pick six. And then the next time we get the ball, like the very next play, it's 3rd and 9 sack. Like so it's 14-0. But then we get a turnover. We get a huge pick from our friendly Noop, number 23. And then we just kick a field goal. And we had the ball inside their own 10-yard line. It was like 14-3. It was like, all right, this game's over. And then Malachi Fields just started going to work and the run game and yeah. But our defense looked really good, Sam. Wouldn't you say? No.
Yeah, I mean they
I thought we
battled,
played
dude.
well. We battled. We
I thought
battled.
Notre Dame, like,
Looked really good. Yeah.
shout out Chris, our future has been placed again. I called him right after the game to get that puppy back in like last
Yeah.
year.
The Notre Dame Natty future.
The Notre Dame Natty future has been placed.
Ooh.
Just like last, remember what I said at Elon last year?
Yeah, I do remember.
All it takes is a convincing win at Pitt to get you on board.
Yeah.
No, I texted Chris and I was like, you want to wait till before or after the Pitt game to put it in? And he said, I might do it now. I was like, just hold off.
Yeah. Well, hope that works out for you.
Just a quick. I know this is a pro Pitt podcast, but I just think it's sad I just think the Pat Narduzzi comments in general were sad. I understand the sentiment of it and that Pitt is strongly alive in the ACC title race, which is huge. And like none of this matters if Pitt ends up winning the ACC because the goal for a program like Pitt should be to win a conference championship every year and they have a very good chance of doing it. But when game day is in town and the eyes of the college football world are on your program, to look a little unprepared like they did. And under Notre Dame is a really good team, and there probably wasn't much of a chance of Pitt winning this game, like you guys were saying. The game script for them winning is so narrow and so dependent on a lot of breaks your way. I just think it's a bad look when you speak the way you do in leading up in that week, and then with the eyes of the college football world on you perform the way you did. It's just a shame for the Pitt program in general, which is a good, strong tradition, like good football program and should command a little bit of respect. It's just a shame like a situation like this unfolds. And
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys feel about it particularly, but I just from an outsider perspective, it's but all of the factors that ended up like leading to the outcome are were sad to me.
Yeah. I mean, from just a standpoint of game day and being in town, like what a moment for Pittsburgh sports and like the city in general. Me and Sam's family group chats were going nuts. Like,
Wait, did you
uh,
see my dad got sniped on the Instagram?
no, I
Yeah, I'll
didn't. You
send
guys
it.
send
I'll
me
send it in
that,
the group chat.
dude. Send me
He
that.
got sniped like on the College Game Day first slide. Like it's so
That's
funny.
sick. Yeah. So like, dude, my
Sorry
sister,
to interrupt,
obviously,
but
no, you're good. My sister, she goes to Pitt, and like, so she was there at game day. My other sister's like committed there, and my mom got to go down with like one of her friends, and the Perrys were down there with Ella and like the and her parent and Sam's parents. But yeah, it was like just so fun. The city was lively, right on the river. Pat McAfee's like opening segment where he's like talking
that
about
was
being from
awesome.
Pittsburgh, like so cool. Like it was just a great, like the city in the background, like just a wonderful, wonderful Pittsburgh event. It's the first time we've had game day in 20 years, and like and I don't so like Matt and her friends like they got up at like 3:30 to pregame, and then they got there at like 6 a.m. Like they
Harsh.
were they were about that, like they were ready to go. So um yeah, like I mean it was a great moment for like Pittsburgh like sports and for Pitt football, but I mean obviously the game was like super terrible. But yeah, but the environment was electric in the stadium. So yeah, it
It's
just
definitely the coolest and like the best Pitt has shown out since I've ever been paying attention to college football.
Dude,
yeah, it
For
was
sure.
the
awesome.
crowd
Yeah.
was that was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was
That
gonna
That
be
was
crowd
Notre
was
Dame
teed up.
takeover.
yeah,
That
it
was like a
was sick.
Steelers crowd.
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick for Pitt. And uh,
Um, Not to get
Sam,
on this tangent.
how fired up were you when Pat McAfee just started going off?
That's what I was about to say. When McAfee started shredding nutting, I was like, I got up.
Did you actually stand?
Well, I was in my bed because I woke up at like, dude, 8 a.m. game day start. I Saturday morning. I don't really want to wake up at 8 a.m., but
No, no, no.
I did, and I woke up and just McAfee starts ripping on him, and I got so excited. And then now we're spending. Not to get on a tangent, but
All of a sudden. No, I mean,
Schwarber,
it was really cool. Oh, Schwarber? What?
yeah, they're making a run at Schwarber. They said it today.
Cute.
Yeah,
Conference.
no way.
Go on Payson's Twitter.
He is a Midwest guy. He's probably looking for a little Midwest action.
Du
That's
Dusker,
gonna get a shithole Philly.
you don't think Schwarber's staying with the Phils?
No, I think he is.
Oh,
I'm
we'll
just
see.
I'm
I
trying to give
hope
you
he's
guys
a
a little.
Bucko. That'd be sick.
There's no way you guys get Schwarber. I'm
Dude, I
sorry.
mean, don't get my hopes up, Sam and Jeff Passan. There's no
Go on
way.
Jeff Passon's Twitter.
Dude, I'm always gypped by like
Schwarber's huge market, including Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
Dude, yeah, he loves the Midwest.
guy
We also apparently we
Indiana
offered
baseball
Josh
player.
Naylor like $90 million or something like stupid. It was awesome. Apparently they're willing to spend.
I will believe
They
it
should
when I
extend
see it.
Skeens before they start spending money on hitting.
Time out. I have a
Yeah,
question. Wait, but they're just making these guys competitive offers so that they can say to fans like us, like, we made this competitive offer. Like, until they actually sign somebody of worth with like a big contract, I'm not gonna just be like, wow, we're spending money now. Like we're theoretically like throwing offers out there that we're thinking like, ah, this is competitive, but they're probably not coming. Like, you know what I'm saying, Sam?
this could also just be I do this the
PR.
podcast player doesn't know that I do this every offseason. Say that I get
That's what
excited
I'm
about
saying,
things.
dude. You and John Rottinghouse convince me every year that we're back, and like I believe it. And then
Dude,
June
you
comes
don't think
around.
that someone from Skeens camp leaked that stupid Yankees story?
Yeah, definitely, he wants to win,
Dude,
dude.
there's some mystery player on the team. Nobody said that. It was someone from Skeens camps that we could pay him right now.
All right, yeah.
10 years, 500 mil, just do it.
I think the Pirates will they will extend Skeens.
I think you like have to.
Yeah.
10
If
years,
you
500
let
million.
him walk out of the building, you in essence like
You're not serious.
yeah, you're not serious, and you should probably just end operations. You let a talent like that leave.
Yeah, 100%. We let Garrett Cole leave though.
But Pittsburgh
It's
sports,
different.
it might be
Garrett Cole
back.
wanted to leave. Garrett Cole's also like
Cali
didn't
guy.
really want
I
to.
mean, so is Skeens.
Yeah.
Skeens is an Air Force guy which I respect.
No, but it's
Guy was signed
different.
up
It's
to be a
different.
soldier. Oh,
I
dude,
think it's different. I think
Mr. Perry on the first slide,
I
looking
was fired up by Mr. Perry's outfit with the blue vest and yellow hoodie.
hair's looking good. My goodness, Mr. Perry, you're looking great. That is fabulous. Pittsburgh did come ready. I'm so proud. That was a proud moment for us Yinzers, Sam.
I know. I wish I was there. That would have been really fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's okay. I was in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
I was grilling. I had a sweet Blackstone setup. It was a great day.
Nice, 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 nice. Sam, did you perchance
Saturday?
catch?
Catch what?
No, Arch asked you if you were grilling
Are you
Saturday.
saying you had that on Saturday?
Yeah, I did McMuffins Saturday. It was pretty awesome.
Ooh,
We did it like all the way too. We made shredded hash browns and we got the fried hash browns. It was great.
Is that your house, the backyard?
Yeah.
That shit's badass.
yeah, that shit is badass.
Except our landlords like don't like spraying for bugs, so my legs look like I have chicken pox, but small price to pay.
Yeah, there's no bugs here in Pennsylvania right now. Too cold.
So you know what? I was grilling, and I've never been this annoyed. I'm grilling egg sandwiches for people. So my friends are sitting outside, like, it's so hot. Like, I gotta go inside. I want to be like, sit the fuck down. Like, I don't know, whatever. But
Yeah, you don't even know what
dude,
are you
it's
talking
80
about?
degrees in November. Like, don't complain. It's awesome that it's hot out in November.
Yeah.
Take your shirt off. Sit outside in the sun.
Yeah, dude, have a day. Put some bug spray on, bro. Figure it out. Did you see the uniform matchup, the Northwestern Michigan, the purple with the white and the blue pants?
I have
Yeah.
in my Northwestern Michigan notes, I love Northwestern's unis.
Oh, dude, so nice. So nice. Yeah. Um, I mean that if we really want to talk about in Wrigley, that was a cool game. Big Michigan win. Big
I
Michigan
could
win.
not believe they almost lost. I looked at their success rates after the game, and it would have been the biggest difference in the winning team having like the worst difference in success rate like of all time.
Really?
It would have been really funny.
Dude, shout out to Northwestern though. Like they're kind of a program now. Like they beat Penn State, they played Michigan well. Um, dude, so two fun facts, and I think this is why Northwestern's moving in the right direction. So their white boy receiver, Griffin Wild, however you say his name, number 17, who's just making plays. Uh, dude, he's a Sioux Falls, South Dakota kid, All-American last year at South Dakota State University. And then the Northwestern head coach, does anybody know where he's from?
I know from your notes, but
Okay. Duska?
I'm not going to
I
say
don't.
anything.
He's from North Dakota State. He was a defensive coordinator in North Dakota State.
Mm.
So guy just knows what a winning program looks like. So yeah, his name's Coach Dave Braun. Dude, so this team's kind of a real football team, and they run the rock. And yeah, I was impressed with and Wrigley, dude. Wrigley was sick. That was really cool. So I'm glad that happened.
Best neutral site game of the year, like scene wise. That was pretty
Yes,
sweet.
that was scenes. Like the game-winning field goal, like into the green monster, like bro, that was sick.
Except like Gus Johnson again, horrible at announcing.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe
I have a
it's time
sick
to-
transition for us.
What?
So we're talking about Northwestern football. Their new head coach experienced a little success. One of their old head coaches, Pat Fitzgerald, maybe rumored for the Penn State job. We'll see. Speaking of Penn State head coaches, James Franklin
Ooh,
just
we have-
hired by Virginia Tech.
Have to do this segment,
Should we talk a little bit about this?
dude. Give me your things. Give me what you got.
I just have it. First of all, I think it's an awesome hire for Virginia Tech. First of all, ironic, kind of funny. Brent Pry, former James Franklin assistant, gets fired by Virginia Tech, and then they hire another Penn State guy. James Franklin's a little more proven, has had a little more success than Brent Pry. I think it's a really good hire for them. I was reading up on it a little bit as well. It seems like the VT board passed a plan to add $229 million to their athletic budget as well over the
Through
next 4
2029.
years. Yeah, so seems like a major investment into athletics. You would hope a huge chunk of that is going to go towards definitely James Franklin's salary, and then also them investing into the football program and being competitive and putting together a really good roster. When Brent Pry was fired, we talked about some of the advantages that potentially presented itself for the Virginia Tech job. with all the talent that is in that DMV area, as well as like the rest of the state of Virginia, and then up into the northern states as well, into the Midwest, like Pennsylvania, Ohio State, and then down to North Carolina. Like those regions can be areas where Virginia Tech can dip their toes in and be able to find some really, really good prospects to build the foundations of their teams. And Virginia Tech's the type of program with the history that they have with Frank Beamer that you should be able to, with that tradition, go out on the road and sell the program to the type of recruits that you'd find in those areas. And there's so much talent in that region, in the regions I mentioned, especially the DMV, especially Pennsylvania, especially Ohio, and then a little bit of North Carolina too, if you want to swing that. And then James Franklin's proven that he can bring in high level talent to his teams. I think a big part of the success for him is going to be able to is he going to be able to hire the assistant coaches that are going to put the team in a position to win with the talent that he's able to accumulate, with the culture he's able to build there. I think
Coordinator hires are huge here.
100%.
Absolutely huge.
And I think that was a bit of a less examined part of a hiring process previously, but it's beginning to come to light a bit more. So will James Franklin be able to capitalize on the new opportunity and bring in guys that are going to put his team in a position to win? And then my other question, I'll see if you guys have any thoughts on this, is how many Penn State players that are currently there, and we've talked about their blue chip composite and the talent that they have on that roster. How many of those guys are going to directly transfer in to Virginia Tech and play for James Franklin? I think there's a decent amount.
Enough to make a difference.
It seems like the players at Penn State, like they all really love and appreciate James Franklin and how he always went to bat for the players. So I just think it's a good hire for a team that's been down for a while. To get a coach of this caliber is, I mean, that's the type of thing that can jumpstart a program like Virginia Tech. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I actually talked to my one of my buddies yesterday at the law school about it. We were saying if we mentioned the same thing, like who's going to transfer there, and I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if Drew Aller transferred there?
He's got eligibility though.
Is he? I thought he only has. I think he has
played
one
as
more
a true
year.
freshman.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, he's done. This was his 4th year.
Well, forget that then. But
Wait,
I thought
he played as a true freshman. He started.
Yeah, he did.
This was his 4th year starting at Penn State.
In 22, he started.
Dude, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
This is not his 4th year starting.
Yes, it is. He started in 22.
Yeah, he did.
Remember the game against West Virginia?
West Virginia?
Yeah. I remember that game very vividly because everyone thought he was going to be a superstar.
Yeah, because of that one throw.
Yeah. Which, like, as a true freshman, it was pretty good, but.
He's out of eligibility? That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, forget what I was going to say because I said that'd be really cool for him to transfer there.
That would have been cool if he got injured in the 4th game this year.
Maybe maybe he worked something out with, you know how NCAA just grants eligibility.
Yeah, like
trauma eligibility.
I mean, we all know that Kyron Jones just ran out of time. We all know that he's a senior, so they're going to need a new quarterback next year.
Dude, yeah, that's going to be. I just can't. I'm really excited to see what the Virginia Tech program does, and dude, this. I think this could potentially propel them into a top 6, top 4 type of program in the ACC. I think that's like the type of
ACC is so havable too.
Yes.
Yeah,
so havable, and like you don't, and also like the Virginia Tech fan base. Like if you go 8-4, you might as well be Frank Beamer 2.0. Like they are going to love him at Virginia Tech if they can just like get them a college game day. Like if they could be relevant enough to get a college game day, like dude, James Franklin will be so beloved. So the ungrateful pieces of shit at Penn State, I just like I can't. I came so excited to watch James Franklin flourish in an environment where the culture wants you to succeed and is not looking for a reason to tear you down. So I'm so excited for Franklin. I'm excited for Virginia Tech. I want to see who the coordinator hires are. Whoever they get from the portal as a quarterback or high school in the quarterback, and then the 2 coordinators he hires are going to be very massive parts of this program, because if you do hire the wrong coordinator, like Lincoln Riley did at USC, it can really muffle the engine and make it a slow start, and that could really put you behind the eight ball as a program. So these next two hires, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, are going to be very pivotal. I wonder where he goes after. I wonder if he kind of goes after a pro style guy like he has been in his career, or if he goes with the Kolnicki type, where like kind of a new gen offense, collegey thing. So I wonder like what philosophy James Franklin picks and what he wants his team to look like.
I also think like another underrated part of this hire, I feel like it's not getting talked about enough, is how, like you just said, it's really how havable the ACC is. And even to go on to that a little bit more, just the overall like just the overall area of the DMV, like main recruiting schools. Like if you look at the Carolina schools, both down, all of them down. Virginia schools, there doesn't really matter. And some of the PA schools, a lot of these teams, the powers that usually dominate the DMV recruiting area are all down. So that's going to help give him a big advantage.
Well,
Plus all the
actually,
powers.
and Sam, the point that you're really making is the recruiting power in the DMV is Pennsylvania State. And Pennsylvania
Yes,
State's
James
head coach,
Franklin.
the PA schools,
he is
yeah.
now at Virginia Tech. Like the totem pole just swung wildly in Virginia Tech's favor of recruiting. Like I
In the
don't think
DMV, and you have
I
both
just
Carolina and
wonder
Clemson
what
down, and
Penn
they're
State's roster looks like next year. Like I wonder. That's a great point to what you're saying, Sam, and what Luke said. Like, what does Penn State's roster look like, and how much of it is playing for Virginia Tech next year?
can I give my Penn State who I think they should hire?
Yeah, dude, do this. You texted me about this. I want to hear it.
Don't This is like a little bit off the radar, but I think that like this is actually their best option for right
If,
now.
if you say John Gruden, I'm literally gonna kill you.
I think they should hire Terry Smith, their interim head coach. I think that this is their best option for a couple reasons. Number one, I don't know if you guys have noticed how the players have responded to him these past few games being there. Second, he's a Pittsburgh guy, went to Gateway. He's been coaching at Penn State for the last 11 years. And used to coach with Matt Rule at Temple. So he's very connected in the PA and Penn State area. I also think that this could be their cheapest option. Not that they're hurting for money that badly, but him being a Penn State grad and Penn State coach, he would most likely already have the donors on board because he's been there forever, um, to keep those funds. I also think that this could be key in helping avoid what could be a huge exodus of the blue chip talent that we talk about for Penn State a lot. Um, and they are still already have two high level coordinators on this team to where he's not going to go out and have to make a difficult hire because they already have Jim Knowles and Andy Koltnicki. So like granted, like this could be an emotional decision, but like it just seems like all of their top options have signed extensions. And now, like, do you really want to force a hire right away when you could have a pretty solid option and what could be a cheaper option in Terry Smith? I don't know. I just think that like
Okay,
this is something that's not being talked about and should be talked about a little bit more.
okay. Let me give my rebuttal. Then why fire James Franklin? Because you wanted your ceiling. You were not happy with that. Your ceiling was 10-2 and in the Rose Bowl every year. You weren't happy with that. And what is James Franklin? He creates that ceiling with his amazing recruiting. Like Terry Smith will not recruit the way James Franklin recruits. It's a guarantee of life. So if you're not going to recruit as well as him, like where's the edge that's going to make you a national championship contender? Like why fire James Franklin if like you're just going to hire his interim?
Yeah, not that I'm not disagreeing. I don't think they should have fired him in the first place.
Yeah. No,
I'm just saying I
which
think
is
that this
why
is
I
a
think they're
really
forced
solid
to make a
option
splashy.
that's
No,
not
no.
being tossed around.
I agree with you, Sam, but we're not talking about logical humans here. We're talking about Penn State. Like, we're talking about people thinking we want to win a national championship. So, like, if they don't win a splashy, even if the board and everybody's on board for Penn State, like, the fan base is not going to be on board with them bringing Terry Smith in. Like, that's not how they're going
I
to
think they
roll.
would.
Why?
I
Why?
think
That's
in the way proposed where they keep Colton Nicky and they keep Jim Knowles, like that's just the status quo of what you already had there with a
without the recruiting.
James Franklin in charge who is certainly definitely a better recruiter and culture builder from what he's proven in his career so far. And I like Charlie said, I don't know if the Penn State fans would accept something like that where you're sticking with the status quo of a
Like
team
Matt
that's
Campbell with like
all
the
time
Roman
bad for
fire.
them.
Like you think like Matt Campbell?
No, because they wouldn't think Matt Campbell was a good hire. They want
Yeah.
they're thinking like
They wanted Kurt Signetti. Like they thought
rules,
they could get Kurt
Are
Signetti,
they
Signetti.
ready for
Yeah.
like Brian Kelly,
Summerall. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that
Penn
would be a
State.
match made in heaven.
That
I
would
said
That,
that
be
Penn
that
State should
also
hire
wouldn't be a
him.
bad hire.
I said that from the beginning. Dude, my thing like with your thing you said, Sam, if you hire the interim coach, it's kind of like what UCLA did like 2 years ago with Deshaun Foster, and he was fired in a year. Like
Yeah.
if you and it's like the same thing in the NFL when the NFL just hires like the interim coach because the players like rallied around him.
Yeah.
That only matters whenever like they're just like thankful to be out of the situation they're in. That's not like a long-term solution. So
Yeah,
like
who's
thinking
that
it
Raiders
could be
coach?
Alec Pierce.
Antonio
Antonio
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah. Like that guy was certainly not qualified to be an NFL head coach,
No.
but they hired
Pete
him.
Carroll
Yeah.
was probably the better hire there. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I mean, Sam, what you're saying is like I understand what you're saying because you're saying like, dude, we're not gonna. But you're maybe thinking a little bit too short term. Like I think long term, like if you do want like to unlock the ceiling that may or may not exist of Penn State of a national championship, like doesn't really matter what you do in the next 2 years. Like you're trying to build something different. You weren't
That's a
okay.
good point. That's a good point.
You weren't okay being 10-2 and going to the Rose Bowl every year. Like that wasn't okay for you. So like, if you need something radically different because like 10-2 and the Rose Bowl is not okay.
Just to put a bow on this, I think it's good. This is good for James Franklin because he's at Virginia Tech now. They're going to play ACC schedule every year. Probably not as many top 10 games going to exist on that schedule as did at Penn State. So I think Virginia Tech's in really good shape because of that one fact alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say who's gonna be James Franklin's Ohio State at Virginia Tech. Gotta wonder.
Dude,
Syracuse.
the
Panthers.
Ooh, the Panthers. The Narduzzi
They do have
Franklin.
they have a tough schedule next year.
Who, Virginia Tech?
They play Clemson, Miami, Georgia Tech, Pitt.
Imagine they like open up the season like 4-0. Like that'd be insane.
They probably will,
They're
dude.
over-
Like
Miami,
Their
I don't
win
know.
total is
I
I think they're
Yeah.
going to be good right away.
Yeah,
they play
7.5.
VMI and then Old Dominion and then Maryland.
See, this is the hype that instead of like this is the hype that North Carolina got that was not deserved. Like the Virginia Tech hype is very well deserved because you actually have a proven coach willing to do what it takes to.
Dude, they're gonna be 4-0. They go VMI, Old Dominion, Maryland, JMU.
Oh,
Old Dominion's no
JMU,
gimme for
JMU.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
And also,
ODU pants them at home. That was the end of the Pry era.
yeah.
What if
Chesney-
Brent Pry is hired as the DC for James Franklin? Would that be allowed? Would Virginia Tech fans revolt?
I think they love Pry.
I think they like him.
Pry loves Virginia Tech still. I saw him at there was a Twitter post. He was at a bar a few weeks ago watching them play a game.
I'm seeing it.
Maybe he wants to. Maybe he like that's what he wants. Like coach linebackers there next year. Like he doesn't want to move his family. Like dude, he'd be cool with that. Maybe
What
not
if
the DC.
What if Penn State hires him as their coach?
They just swap, dude.
Worst hire in history.
dude. Then Beaver Stadium would just be set on fire. Like there's just no other way to go about it.
Luke Bowser would lead the charge.
Was Manny Diaz mentioned as a serious candidate for Penn State so far?
He should be, but I don't think so.
You think he should be?
Should he be?
Really?
As a serious candidate, yes,
Maybe
but
for the
like
defensive
probably on
coordinator.
like the 10th of the serious candidates list.
Got you. So like low on the serious candidate.
Okay.
He'd be the 10th call.
Well,
Yeah, you're
they've already burned through like 3 calls. So
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
more.
Is that Pat Fitzgerald stuff real?
I've just heard McShay
imagine
talk about
selling
Pat
that to,
Fitzgerald.
like, imagine,
That would be
imagine
the
selling
most
that.
on brand for Penn State after what he did in that Northwestern locker room to bring him to Penn State. I mean,
I don't know.
you'd have
I don't
Title
know a
IX
lot
U
about
there.
the story, but it sounds like he was a bit wronged by Northwestern administration in
He
that
was, he
situation.
was.
Oh, for sure. But
He was
the whole
catfished.
Yeah,
but Penn State like neglecting that and hiring him after everything they've went through the last 30 years would be like genuinely the funniest thing I've ever seen.
All right.
dude, I have an interesting off-air Penn State story.
Okay.
that I'll give you guys after this.
We're going off. We're going off air, fellas. That was a good time. 2 hours, good time.
Yeah.
We really.
That's perfect. I was about to text you. I gotta hop off in like
All
10.
right.